Welcome to the 2023 State of the County Address. I am Mary Cuney, Chair of the Board of County Commissioners, and I want to thank you, Alicia Benson, and the team at GSI for hosting today's event. Today, I'm going to share with you several of our 2023 accomplishments and plans for the coming years at Spokane County. Admittedly, in our current world, innovate and collaborate are not the first words that come to mind when you think of government. But I think after hearing some of our efforts this past year, you might reconsider. As we leave the fire season behind us and enter the fall, in addition to the cooler weather and shorter days, it also means it's fair season. With your help, we can exceed last year's record-breaking attendance of more than 200,000 through the gate. The fair is more than just the carnival, cotton candy, and fun for the whole family. The 10-day event delivers over a $7 million economic impact to our community. That's a lot of corn dogs and elephant ears. And as you think about the fair's impact, keep in mind that it's just one of several fun things that we get to celebrate at the county fairgrounds. Here's another. Almost 250,000 baseball fans visited Avista Stadium this year for games to cheer on our hometown Spokane Indians. To put that number of visitors in context, that's more than all who visited our 3 county golf courses combined, and it's been a great year for golf weather. Many of us baseball fans are looking forward to the upgrades and renovations that you will see over the next few years at Avista Stadium, such as new field lights, renovated clubhouses, a new video board, and much more to come. Thank you to the state legislature and the city of Spokane Valley for choosing to invest with us in the stadium. Of course, county government is about a lot more than just the fair, baseball stadium, and golf courses. While a lot of fun, these activities also deliver an economic impact and generate tax revenues. Our Board of County Commissioners and our team is committed to being innovative and collaborative in a fiscally responsible way. And I have some breaking news. I was talking with Tom Konis this morning, and he has let me know that it'll be official tomorrow, but completed new construction in the county this year will top $1.4 billion. I am proud to report that the state of our county is strong. You heard me mention teams, so I want to take a moment to recognize those who help make our work possible. They do this by providing leadership and stewardship to our county government every day. As president of WASAC, our Association of Washington Counties, I've gotten the opportunity to see how 38 other counties work across the state, and I have to say, I would proudly put our team up against any other. Let me introduce our county officials and team who work hard every day on your behalf. District 1, Chris Jordan. District 2, Amber Waldruff. District 3, Josh Kearns, our vice chair. District 4, myself, the current chair, and District 5, Al French. You provide the awesome service to all of our citizens. Thank you so much for what you do every day for Spokane County. Now let's turn our attention to some of the 2023 signature accomplishments that will highlight how we innovate and collaborate at Spokane County. To begin with, I want to talk about our initiative in student wellness. Starting in 2019, the county began to confront the youth mental health needs in our community. As we entered and then emerged from the pandemic, the mental health needs of the youth became even more evident. The youth mental health crisis has been identified by the U.S. Surgeon General as a national priority and echoed by Governor Inslee's emergency declaration, and further echoed by Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward's Youth Mental Health Task Force. The initiative for student wellness was born from recognition that there was a desperate need expressed by the community for a solution to rising rates of despair, drug and alcohol use, and feelings of isolation. So what is this initiative? It is an innovative program using school-based screening, immediate intervention, and referral to treatment. Recognizing the unique and vital role that our schools play in the lives of youth and families, Spokane County collaborated directly with the West Valley School District to implement a pilot program. This partnership has quickly taken off and at just the right time. The initiative goes a step further than just screening, and incorporates mental health treatment interventions. We are establishing community referral pathways and creating processes that promote recovery, resiliency, and equitable access to all students. I want to give a special shout out to Superintendent Kyle Rydell and his team at West Valley School District for coming along with us and leading the way. Let's hear from Justin Johnson, our Community Services Director, and his team on how this program began at Spokane County.
Spokane County Community Services Department is comprised of 3 separate divisions. Our developmental disabilities, which includes community inclusion and employment support. Our CARES division, which is our counseling and recovery services, providing rec therapeutic services and housing support in the community. And then our Spokane County Regional Behavioral Health Administrative Service Organization. And that's the one that provides services across 6 counties. And most people don't realize exactly the wide array of intervention points that we actually work with. So one of the new programs that we've created here in Spokane County is really looking at youth-based services and meeting the need that currently exists. This is a brand new program. It's called our Initiative for Student Wellness, piloting it in various schools, and it is exciting to be able to be a part of this wonderful new program.
So we really wanted to create a program that was accessible to all kids in schools, regardless of insurance. And we know that our students are struggling with their mental health. They were struggling before the pandemic, and the pandemic just exacerbated an exponentially increasing issue with our young people inside of Spokane County and really across the nation.
You know, one of the things that the county did that was powerful is they gave us a commitment of several years. And we were able to do 2 test schools this year. We worked with Centennial Middle School in West Valley School District and West Valley High School in West Valley School District. Our first year taught us a lot, and I think we're able to help quite a few students. We have students that might struggle with anxiety or depression, or might be struggling with food scarcity, or might not have a support system that we can go out and offer them any kind of support or help that they need. And that, I think, is miraculous.
We ensure that all students, regardless of their background, have access to necessary services, and then when it's identified that a greater need exists, we refer them, a warm handoff to the community, to whatever service their family and the youth determine is necessary.
We want healthy, thriving kids who are able to function in their daily lives, in the community, in their families, and ultimately graduate and become great citizens of Spokane County. That's the ultimate goal of this program. We would be remiss if we didn't start by thanking the county commissioners, because without them, this project would not even be possible. So our county commissioners understand how valuable our young people are and how much they've been struggling, and they really chose to invest in our young people in Spokane County. Secondarily, I'd love to thank the school districts that we're partnered with, because without their strong buy-in, we wouldn't be successful.
So really, this is a community effort, and being a part of this community, ensuring that it is vibrant and healthy, really is the core mission of Spokane County, and we're happy to be a part of it.
This program is funded through the Spokane County Mental Health Sales Tax, and we are proud to be partnering with Spokane Public Schools and ESD 101 to provide the direct treatment services. After a year of successful results, we are expanding to several more districts as we grow this program. Soon you'll see it rolling out at Cheney, Riverside, Freeman, and East Valley school districts as we continue to grow and reach more youth in our community. Next, I'm proud to report on another successful collaboration that was years in the making and is now yielding real results. In October, Fairchild Air Force Base in Spokane County will cut the ribbon on our state-of-the-art Small Arms Range and Sheriff's Training Center. The Small Arms Range is a great example of what we can accomplish when we think big, think outside the box, and never give up. This collaboration is the first of its kind in the nation between the Air Force and a county government on a shared use facility. Thanks to community members, GSI, and elected officials, we were able to get legislation changed at the federal level to make this happen. However, this partnership is about more than just building a facility together. It symbolizes our shared commitment to protect our country and our community. We will ensure our airmen and women are prepared for the current and future missions, while also ensuring our sheriff's deputies receive the innovative training they need to serve and protect our neighborhoods here at home. Not only will the Small Arms Range enhance training capabilities for our service members and deputies who have difficult jobs to do under difficult circumstances, it shows our entire country what's possible when local and federal leaders work together in a collaborative and innovative way. As one of our past base commanders aptly put it, There will be a lot of communities that will look at Fairchild, and this project specifically, as an example of how to do this right. And we did it. And so on October 19th, we invite everyone to join us as we cut the ribbon and have an open house to celebrate this facility. I would be remiss while talking about Fairchild if I didn't also recognize another long-term goal. With GSI as the lead, working with local legislators and our community partners, we finally passed the military spouse nurse licensure legislation in Olympia. That is through hard work, determination, and collaboration, we finally did it. And as we look ahead to the bright future of Spokane County, it's clear that our partnership with Fairchild will remain a top priority. So let's continue to work together to support Team Fairchild. Next, I'd like to show a short video about another initiative that again was years in the making. This project highlights what we can accomplish when we think bigger, imagine what is possible, and go to work to make it happen. You may recall I talked about the Doris Morrison Learning Center last year when we did the groundbreaking. This year, we completed the project, and we finally got to cut the ribbon. Cutting the ribbon together was both a celebration of forward-thinking partnership, as well as renewing our shared dedication to environmental stewardship. The center is a living tribute to collaboration between the Morrison family, Spokane County Environmental Services Department, Central Valley School District, Representative Mike Volz with the state legislature, and many other environmental and conservation partners.
Morrison Ranch began in 1892. My granddad, Peter Morrison, started acquiring property. He put together over 2,000 acres here in the early 1900s. He drained the meadow using horses and Fresnos to build the ditches. Once that was done, he planted it to Timothy hay and became the largest Timothy grower in the state of Washington.
And we've kind of just started to revert that back to the wetland process just by using the natural runoff off of Mica Peak and the surrounding mountains.
The property that I sold to the county was part of the Miller Morrison family.
In 2010, we bought the property from Bud Morrison, and a stipulation in that purchase and sale agreement was that we would build some sort of learning center in dedication to his mother, Doris. We really wanted to kind of connect Spokane Valley and other Spokane County students with, wetland science, environmental science, and the outdoors. And this building will really kind of provide that area for field trips. We knew we needed some shelter space, a place to have lunch, but really the focus of education at Saltooth Flats will be outside as much as possible.
I have been involved with this since in the beginning, and that was one of the conditions of the sale, that a Morrison family member would remain involved in the construction and of the wetland project and everything else.
We bought the land in 2010, and several years of studying the soils and making sure that it would be able to hold the reclaimed water that we were hoping to bring here before we really went to construction in 2018.
But I go down and ride my horse down there and talk to people on the trails, and people come from all over the country to come out here. I've talked to people that came from Seattle to take part and see this operation that the county has done. It's fantastic. We
have about 1.5 mile stretch of elevated trail that we built as part of the construction when we were building our control structures. It's kind of the deepest area of our wetland. It has the most water for the longest period of time, and so we knew we needed to really have a trail system that would be above where the water was going to be held, and that's our most popular trail to be used by recreational folks.
So I feel that the family has been totally involved. The county has done a fantastic job on the development of the wetlands and the center. I couldn't be happier.
Today, the Morrison Family Farm has been transformed into a center of learning for our youth and our community about nature, conservation, agriculture, and the ancestral lands of our region's Native American people. I invite you all to visit and experience its architectural and scenic beauty. I think you'll also find it's a center for education. It is the center's educational mission that truly stands out. Last year, Another item I talked about, you may recall, is we focused on the challenges presented by the global pandemic and set forth a process to determine what investments to make in our region's future, using American Rescue Plan economic relief funding. I'm going to direct you to this slide, and you'll see in this slide that we've made some key investments in our community, from addressing economic impacts through programs like Launch Northwest, a program that grows our post-high school educational and vocational attainment, which will supply us with a strong future workforce, to investing in infrastructure and broadband to help get Spokane County connected, and forming the BroadLink PDA, as well as the Broadband Action Team, to pursue additional state and federal funding opportunities, to make post-pandemic public sector investments in internal system upgrades, to investing in public health such as the health district and domestic violence programs. Your feedback illuminated the areas where we could make lasting impacts, paving the way for strategic investments, not just for immediate relief, but for the brighter future we all envision. Next, I'm going to transition to public safety. I invite Sheriff John Knowles to the stage with me as we watch a brief video, educational video on Measure 1, the Law and Justice Proposal for Spokane County.
In December 2022, the Board of County Commissioners of Spokane County adopted a resolution to add Measure Number 1 to the November 7, 2023 general election ballot. Let's talk about how Spokane County intends to use its revenue from Measure Number 1 to address criminal justice, public safety, and behavioral health needs resulting in part from population growth in the region. Measure Number 1 is a law and justice proposal for Spokane County. It would add a new 0.2% sales and use tax on purchases beginning April 1st, 2024, and running through December 31st, 2054. For every $10 spent by residents, visitors, and tourists in Spokane County, an additional 2 cents will be collected. 60% of the collected revenue will be allocated to Spokane County government, and 40% of the collected revenue will be allocated based on population to its cities and towns. Cities and towns can use their share of Measure Number 1 funds to meet local criminal justice, public safety, and behavioral health needs. Why Measure Number 1? Population in Spokane County has been growing rapidly in recent years. As a community grows, so does its needs for criminal justice, public safety, and behavioral health investments. Just like growing populations means a need for more schools, libraries, parks, hospitals, and other public infrastructure. That is true in Spokane County today, where our criminal justice system is facing an overcrowded correctional facility and congested courts. Mental health needs and addiction rates are increasing. Crime rates are also going up. The need for resources to address these community needs is what led to the initiation of Measure Number 1. Let's take these issues one by one. First, let's talk about criminal justice needs in our community. Due to overcrowding and outdated correctional facilities, today nearly 14% of low-level offenders are being booked and immediately released from the Spokane County Jail as a capacity management tool approved by the district and municipal courts. Law enforcement officers oftentimes wait in long booking queues. So how would Spokane County spend its Measure Number 1 revenues on improvements? To begin with, Spokane County can allocate Measure Number 1 revenues to improve criminal justice facilities and programs at all phases, from inmate booking and detention to release and community reentry. To reduce overcrowding and allow expanded programming, approximately $300 million would be used for constructing new facilities. Spokane County would consolidate inmates from different facilities in a new housing facility and a new community correction center on a central campus. That campus would be known as the Law and Justice Center of Spokane County. Measure Number 1, though, is about more than just new criminal justice facilities. It's about inmate programs like breaking barriers and helping justice-involved individuals successfully re-enter the community. Expanded programming in new classroom spaces for individuals in custody would include drug and alcohol treatment, job and communication skills, anger management, and GED classes. Using revenues provided by Measure Number 1, Spokane County also proposes to make investments in criminal justice system improvements, from courtrooms and judges to prosecutors and public defenders. Plus, Measure Number 1 can fund investments in domestic violence programs and therapeutic or problem-solving courts, like mental health court or veterans court that allow inmates to obtain treatment and services to address needs that may have contributed to the conduct leading to their arrest in the first place. Furthermore, Measure Number 1 can fund criminal justice reform recommendations from advisory groups like the Spokane Regional Law and Justice Council, made up of subject matter experts and community representatives. That can include smart justice programs aimed at reducing the number of people in custody, such as at-home electronic monitoring, jail diversion approaches, and alternative sentencing options. Moving on to public safety, Measure Number 1 revenues can be used by Spokane County, towns, and cities to pay for public safety initiatives, such as hiring more law enforcement officers and providing enhanced training. Measure Number 1 can also expand co-deployed behavioral health teams that work with first responders to help provide safe resolutions for people in crisis. These teams help ensure better outcomes for those in crisis, diverting them from being arrested and instead directing them to therapy or services. On behavioral health, Measure Number 1 can fund programs like expanding and enhancing Spokane County's Crisis Stabilization Center, a facility that provides short-term care and intervention for people who are experiencing a behavioral health crisis in lieu of incarceration. This center helps people in crisis. Still have questions? Spokane County officials are attending community meetings leading up to the November 7th, 2023 general election on Measure Number 1 to educate the public about Measure Number 1. For more information, please also visit our website.
Today, we wanted you to hear directly from us, so I am going to turn it over to the sheriff for him to give his comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Cuny. It is my pleasure to be able to talk to you today about Measure 1. This video that you just watched does a great job painting a picture of a very complicated problem that we as a community have to address. For the elected officials here in the room, you heard from me last week. It's our job to address this issue so everyone who lives and works in this community can be safe and they can feel safe. You saw in the video all of the needs that we have and the ways that we can use the money generated by Measure 1 should it pass. To illustrate some of the conditions that we're facing in the criminal justice system right now, and the only thing I will mention about law enforcement here is it's not a secret that in the state of Washington that we have the lowest per capita law enforcement rates in the country, to include Washington, D.C. It will require significant investment in law enforcement personnel to get us to that national standard. That's a very visible part of where our criminal justice system is falling short here in Spokane County. However, I've had a conversation with prosecuting attorney Larry Haskell the other day. And a part of the criminal justice system that not a lot of people hear about is the number of cases that they have and the few employees they have and the fewer courtrooms that we have to address it. Last year alone, Spokane County saw over 3,500 new felony cases given to our prosecutor's office. Now, that's just felonies, not misdemeanors. Another not well-known statistic is that they only have 45 deputy prosecuting attorneys assigned to handle those 3,500 cases. That's a lot of work, and I promise we don't have more public defenders than we have deputy prosecuting attorneys. The system is overtaxed. Our court system, we have 12 superior courts to handle those 3,500 charges per year. And make no mistake, they're not resolved in a year. These pile up. If you have 2 civil courts, 1 court for initial appearance and 1 for juvenile, you have 8 courts operating roughly 48 or less weeks a year. It gives us a capacity to see about 350 trials a year, and we're generating 3,500 new cases. We need significant investment. Measure 1 dollars can be used to help these programs, to help us better fund a criminal justice system that when it is funded correctly and staffed correctly, it does lead to better outcomes for offenders. But more importantly, it prioritizes your public safety. We need to invest in a new facility, and we need to invest in programs and make better outcomes to make our community safe. Thank you.
As you've seen with our initiative for student wellness and Launch Northwest investments, as I referenced earlier, we are proactively working upstream so our youth do not end up in our criminal justice system. The bottom line on Measure 1 is this: it's about a lot more than a facility. As part of my work with WASAC, I've been around to Clark County, Stevens, Asotin, Benton, Garfield, and Whatcom counties. Every community is struggling with needing new facilities and funding, and to meet their criminal justice needs, just like Spokane County. That is why Measure 1 is on our ballot. We're asking you, the voters, to decide whether to invest in new facilities and programs and services to help people turn their lives around. And just as importantly, it's about improving public safety for all. Ultimately, it is up to you, the voters, to decide this fall. Next, so this speech wouldn't be complete if I didn't give a shout out to Spokane International Airport and their TREX project. As many of you know, the airport is jointly owned by the county and the city of Spokane. This long-standing collaboration is a prime example of how we can work together to benefit the entire region. Larry Crowder and his great team are currently reimagining what the gateway to our community will look like, and I can't wait to see it when the first phase opens next year. We are also excited to support a new consortium led by Gonzaga University, which is pursuing federal funding to designate a location on the West Plains as an aerospace tech hub. We look forward to becoming a partner. My last initiative that I want to highlight briefly before I close is the Spokane Regional Homeless Authority. After having our Council of Governments meeting last Friday, it is clear there is a desire to continue moving forward with discussions. We know we need to think outside this box and not just keep responding in the ways that we have been. Homelessness is a regional issue, and it demands a regional response. That is why we will continue discussions as a region, look for ways to improve our services, and better coordinate the care and resources we provide. In closing, on behalf of all of us at Spokane County, please know that we value your trust, engagement, and unwavering commitment to our shared future. Hopefully you've seen through the partnerships that brought us the Initiative for Student Wellness, the Small Arms Range and Sheriff's Training Center, the Doris Morrison Learning Center, and how we collaborate and innovate to get big things done for our community. While we are responding to the needs of today, we are also truly investing in our future. Whether we agree or disagree on an issue, please know we are here to serve you and always welcome hearing from you. Thank you for your time today, and let's continue to collaborate and innovate to move Spokane County forward.